Well, Corelli, a lot to play for both teams here. As mentioned on the desk, Dignitas looking over their shoulders. A lot of questions being asked of Daniel, and what do you make of things?
Look, I think Daniel's going to play well. I don't like the narrative of just automatically assuming that a new kid on the block is going to perform poorly at LAN. I think that Daniel can. I think really for me, what I'm looking at is Arsenal and Reynolds. They're the type of guys that will build up the hype and feed off of the hype at LAN and might step it up a notch here against Dignitas.
Well, we'll see how it all plays out. We're in our final match of day one of the Winter Major here, and currently Dignitas, the ones that earn possession first, passed over to apparently Jack, no problem for Daniel. And Curly, I think you make a great point about how Reynolds and Arsenal are playing, because they said they want to go back to how they played at Regional 1, and Arsenal and Reynolds all over the pitch, giving Daniel a lot of opportunities to be successful as Arsenal turned away at the goal line there.
And you talk to Reynolds, even just his success with LAN wins, I think that's the type of performance that he strives for every time he's on the field, and especially at another LAN. But let's give some credit over to Dignitas. Certainly no slouches after their collapse of the Fall Major, where they were looking like an unstoppable force. Joris was an animal at the Fall Major. There's a little bit of redemption for them here, even after the good, positive games they had at the Fall Major.
See what both teams are capable of. So far, it's been kind of slow. A couple of good opportunities there for Spacestation. Not able to get anywhere under the bar as over the shoulder, and that's going to get turned in. Joria says, thank you. That's an easy one.
What on earth? What has happened here for Daniel? The misread off the ceiling, and Joria says, thank you very much. As you said, Dignitas will take one in the first minute and 5.
Arsenal giggling.
He's laughing.
He's like, come on, man. Tough one to give up, but plenty of time to make it back. The kickoff following. Again, Dignitas earning some possession early. I don't think we can really put too much stock into how this one should shake out. Great pass and right at Reynolds in the Spacestation net. Follow through back post is Daniel rotating back already.
I think this matchup is really dependent on what Dignitas give us. Sometimes Dignitas is in dominant form, and other times they have good performances, but they don't look as good on the field. The context of the game kind of gets a little muddied. For Dignitas, they have a true triple threat. They have players that can really pop off, especially when you talk about the way Joris played in the last major, the way Appjack's been playing, and Scrub, of course, once he's cleaned up, being that third man. Dignitas has really come on board here and is attempting to be another very strong EU contender as Joris puts away a second.
Excellent control here from Joris. This pass out. Arsenal trying to weave his way through and thinking, maybe I can cut back in, but Daniel trying to cover a large swath of the net, ends up playing near post because Arsenal decided to cut back in there, and nobody defending that right side of the net. Dignitas pick it apart. We've arrived 2-0 Dignitas.
Very unthreatened so far is Dignitas. And Spacestation need to make amends right now. Not looking so hot, and certainly not looking in form.
See, I would always suggest getting the ball in Arsenal's hands. As a nice little flick from Scrub Killer there. But Spacestation certainly up to the task, but really looking for, like I said, the ball to be in Arsenal's hands as they push the ball up the pitch. Really feel like Spacestation has a lot of success when they start putting Arsenal as the point man, and he's just got so many different looks on the ball. He's an incredibly tough player to challenge. I think he's a really great starting point to look for some success for Spacestation.
I agree, and I think for Reynolds and Arsenal, they are certainly the point of this team for Spacestation is to unlock Daniel. And when you do that, good things happen for Spacestation. Right now, Daniel going into a tough tackle, and Reynolds going to let this one go up the wall. He's got full boost to work with here. Daniel wants some bumps in the net, not going to find it. Joris going to turn him away on the Dignitas side.
Like the patience from Arsenal, let that one come to him, make sure his teammates are ready to try and keep the pressure, but that's a big miss, and will let Dignitas out of the cage. Combined with a demo on apparently Jack, Jory is tasked with just buying some extra time here. Scrub Killer close enough to follow through, but Spacestation standing tall on defense. Still trying to find a way out of their own half and consistently hold pressure. Dignitas really not having too much work to get done, as Arsenal in time to turn that one aside, looking for help, and actually going to give away some space here for Spacestation, and they're going to need to really hold on to this ball for the next minute or so if they want to have a chance of taking back game one.
And it does feel like they're going to have to pick up the pace, the Spacestation squad, because Dignitas, they're just playing faster than them right now, and the challenges have just been too clean, too centered on the ball. It's been very tough for Spacestation to get a hold of this ball cleanly and find anyone downfield. It's really been all of Dignitas in the challenge game going in their favor.
Nice read from Daniel, following Jorius across his own net. Time continues to tick out to apparently Jack. That's in the lower left-hand corner. Thank you.
I thought that was a Dignitas player playing it out. I was like, wow, that's a great pass. No, it's Daniel passing it out to apparently Jack, and he'll slot it left side. Dignitas up 3-0 in game one.
Great understanding from apparently Jack, just kind of camped out.
Yep.
And thinking, well, maybe he gets it back clear. We've arrived. There it is. And no way for Space Station to come back in this one. Jorius wants 4, but turned aside by Reynolds. Not a particularly hot game for either team. No one really setting any fires anywhere. It's kind of just, okay, Space Station clearly needs a second to get dialed in here, because Dignitas kind of picked up the pressure off the bat and never put it back down.
A couple of gifts here from Space Station, 2 out of the 3 at least, given over to Dignitas for some free shots. Not what you want to do, because Dignitas, they're a team that it just seems like they eke out wins when you don't expect it. They kind of lull you into their play style, and right now it hasn't seen much out of Space Station. Dignitas looking to take game 1, and they certainly will.
Strong start. Oh, they want one more for the road. Why not? Pass across. Okay. Oh, it didn't go straight down. Nice read from Arsenal. And okay, we've reached the end of game 1. Easy enough victory for Dignitas, to be sure, and you really can't complain about anything that Dignitas really did. I'm not going to say that they went out there and really knocked Space Station's block off.
Didn't have to.
Kind of just sit there in the midfield and said, clear the ball. And then, for whatever reason, I mean, Space Station, when they got that ball out of their own half, they just didn't have that normal amount of pressure that they're used to having, and really pushing up the field and trying to regain possession.
16 shots for Dignitas here in this first game. 11 saves from Space Station, which I think kind of paints the picture about what's going on here very clearly. Dignitas was all over Space Station here. And again, I do think you might ask, well, okay, what does Space Station really have to do? I think, first of all, first game out of the way here for Space Station, right? I think there's, okay, you know what? That first goal that Daniel let in. That was bad from Space Station. So for Dignitas, it's at that, or for Space Station now, it's like, okay, let's get into this, you know? We got the first game out of the way. A lot of times that game, a lot of pros will talk about, especially on LAN. That's a game that they'll use to kind of just figure out, okay, what are we really up against here? And Space Station certainly doing that here in game 1 as they fell 3-0. And Dignitas, they don't have to change course. I mean, they didn't really have to do much.
Gain speed if you're Dignitas here going into game 2. They come out there and they keep, again, a lot of pressure in that first minute or two. Space Station really not able to get a firm grip on that midfield line. Could be in for another repeat game where Dignitas really doesn't try and put a lot of pressure on Space Station. They kind of just squeeze and squeeze until a mistake happens. Jorius is going to tuck that one into bed, top left corner.
Is he going to have that type of major again? Because he might. He's looking good, and he's just there to capitalize on the opportunity here. There's space inside the box for him to take that touch into, and he's welcomed himself in to the Space Station side. Dignitas up 1-0 in the first 20 seconds.
No pace lost in between games, it would seem, but really decent kickoff for Space Station. Kind of had to go back and get it, waste a few seconds. It's a loud scrub. Come through and keep things on the blue half. Space Station, here's where you really need to start earning your keep. You fought out of your own half, you gave up an early lead, you gotta stop Jorius here at the midfield line.
Yeah, again, I do think it comes down to a lot of the pace of play and the challenge game. Dignitas did such a great job to hold on to that ball and to keep challenges very difficult for Space Station to meet. Here's a shot from Daniel, wants to slot it, but no power behind it. A good tackle comes out from Arsenal, maybe looking for more. Jorius doesn't know what to do with it, and Arsenal can't stay behind it.
I don't know if he just decided to not hit the ball and just try and open the door as wide as he could, but one way or the other, Dignitas able to make the adjustment. Nice punt from apparently Jack, looking to go back down to him, and nice understanding there from the Space Station defense, not getting too psyched up in the pass above. Just realizing the most optimal and easiest approach is to dish it right back, and they're all over it.
Space Station, though, it does feel like they are spending a bit more time on the Dignitas side. Certainly making Dignitas earn it here in their first goal. Here's a chance from Daniel. Oh, and Scrub just got the touch to prevent the oncoming attack from Space Station as they're back on the Space Station side.
That long punch from Dignitas as well, really buying them some extra time to get reset. Scrub bumped off the ball, so another good opportunity. Daniel wisely choosing to take the ball down onto a dribble. Even if he doesn't necessarily keep possession, it does force Dignitas to come take the ball away from him. Double tap, Arsenal's too close. He won't be able to adjust to the approach on that bounce off the wall, and at least in this situation, Space Station still in control of the ball, but unfortunately going to be late to a challenge there. Dignitas going to fight him off one more time.
And I do think Space Station is doing a better job, and you can see, it's the physical game that's really paying off here. Arsenal wants a piece of the last man, but the shot isn't on target, and back the other way. Is that the post? It is for Dignitas, and Space Station and Dignitas both can't convert.
Oh, down for Joris. It's a big block, stopping that ball going back onto the orange half. Space Station again, having to dodge their own demos down in front. They need a little extra help. Unfortunately, Joris didn't have the spacing to feel comfortable really trying to push that one and decided to give a little ground. Smart move considering they're already up. No need to concede one needlessly if you don't jam it in.
Yep. Very smart decision there from Joris not to force the issue. As Daniel wants to take to the sky, he's coming online, can get the bump on the last man. Scrub able to turn it away. And Space Station looking more and more confident and poised here in game 2. Dignitas holding on to just a 1-goal lead.
Definitely understanding how Dignitas are trying to clear the ball a little better, understanding the lines that they're trying to take, getting out in front, and at least making it a fight for possession in the middle of the pitch rather than out of their own half the entire time. And now it's just a matter of can they create chances. There was one, and apparently Jack just able to get out in front of it. Nice wave dash up onto the wall to try and stick with it, but not the cleanest leave off the boards there. And Dignitas starting to get pushed further and further back.
They're kind of struggling to break out. Space Station doing a great job of adapting here. And it has certainly paid off, and I think a lot of it is the physical game. I've seen a lot more bumps, attempted demos, and just the demo in general. As Reynolds with a flip reset tries to get through Scrub Killa, not going to happen. The time certainly becoming a factor here for Space Station.
Will get more and more aggressive. There you can see Daniel trying to go across the box and open up extra space. Flick over the top. Arsenal putting pressure on Joris. He's still going to get the nose on it. Big stop. Daniel just hoping that one winds into, happens to go into the orange net. Cut across. Big save from Joris. Way to give the respect to the shot. And get back in time for that one.
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough angle to hit in the first place on the shot, but an even better save. But Space Station inching closer and closer to the net of Dignitas. They've got to find a way out, and it's Joris who will find the ball into the Space Station corner.
Air dribble for Reynolds with a little bump. Needs some help from Daniel. Clear the lane for him. That's
dangerous.
Not a good touch.
He doesn't have boost.
Do they have enough to get back to it? Unfortunately, no. Daniel has to camp out of the midfield line. He's late. Going to waste some precious seconds there for Space Station, but they are getting good boost steals in the orange net. Trying to force Dignitas to not have the resources and see if they can open up a door through starvation. This one going down in front. They just missed the demo. And again, Space Station playing a little deeper back just in case, and now they got to do it in the air.
Great poise there from apparently Jack, and Daniel not going to catch up to it. Dignitas gonna squeak out a game 2 win, but this is a different story this time of Chiefs, because we talked about game 1 and we basically summed it up and said Space Station, didn't play very well. Dignitas took care of business.
14.
The script has been flipped. It feels like Space Station was all over Dignitas, but they didn't win. Dignitas had that 1 goal and they held on to it.
It took a while to get there for Space Station, but that final 2 minutes probably was really Space Station starting to lean on the gas pedal more and more, and Dignitas did well to fend them off. They were not the easiest things in the world to. It's pretty tough to stop a team as aggressive as Reynolds, Daniel, and Arsenal, and to really not allow that physical game that Space Station tends to thrive off to really come and start bearing fruit. So excellent job on Dignitas' defense to, like you said, squeak that one out there in game 2. And Space Station now find themselves in the unenviable position of reverse sweeping one of the best teams in Europe.
I mean, you don't want to reverse sweep, and you certainly don't want to be perfect swept out of this series against Dignitas. And one where after game 2, after seeing game 2, they're certainly in it. They're certainly in it. Game 1 was not pretty, but Space Station have turned things around. I think they've done a great job here in game 2, but they've got to convert. They've got to put one away, as Dignitas has very easily gotten to themselves to a match point.
Dignitas, despite the win in game 2, like we were saying towards the end, now the ones that need to make some adjustments, because you don't want to let Space Station be the team that comes out there and puts 14 shots on you again. You cannot expect to hold that to 0 all the time, as Arsenal met by apparently Jack in the corner of the net. And Dignitas wisely taking the ball down onto the ground. Again, generally a pretty safe option. You don't know what to do and you need some time with the ball. Take it on a dribble, force a challenge.
Wow, what a
generally
clear.
safe, as indeed quite the clear from Space Station. It's giving them the ball back, pass to Arsenal.
Whoa.
Hello, goodbye Dignitas defense. Space Station's on the board.
There we go, some smiles coming out from Space Station, some fist bumps all around. That's a great pass from Reynolds. The vision on him to see Arsenal all the way across. And Space Station up 1-0, preventing the perfect sweep and trying to fight back here against Dignitas.
Apparently Jack just rotating back into the net there, like, I don't know how I'm supposed to stop this one.
Yep.
As we do have a pause here, we'll get more information for you guys on what's going on when we have that. But thank you very much for bearing with us while we got that sorted out. It appears that apparently Jack was experiencing some lag issues. We've come to the decision the goal will stand. And to be honest, that's fair. That was a spicy one. He banged that in the top left corner.
Sure did. Space Station looking good there. And for Dignitas, a little bit of a break. They have the last two games. Obviously, we're sitting at 2-0 here in the series in favor of Dignitas. Some work to do here. Plenty of time left on the clock for them. But Space Station finally finding the back of the net. We had mentioned earlier that they were threatened against them. A perfect sweep by Dignitas. Able to get on the board here in a great passing play with Reynolds on the vision there. A pass across for Space Station. A good 1-0 lead here currently.
Yeah, and we were hinting at Space Station making some nice adjustments towards the end of Game 2. Really starting to put a lot of pressure on Dignitas despite a rough start to the series.
Yep.
We arrive at this situation now, Dignitas being the ones to have to make some adjustments, and starting off with a banger of a goal for Space Station. Like you said, we were hinting at the idea. Space Station, you know, maybe this pause causing a little hiccups in some of the momentum that they had building.
That's how I feel, at least. You know, because Space Station finally started to look good.
Finally, at long last, jeez.
It took them a few games to get going, but, you know, I don't think Game 1 was representative of what Space Station brings to the table.
Yeah.
I don't think Dignitas thought so either. There was a lot of gifts given over to them, but Space Station have worked their way into this series. They're on top here so far in Game 3, and I think they've really adjusted. Game 2, I think, was the big teller. While I know Dignitas came out on top, Space Station really did figure themselves out and start to put the pressure on Dig.
Well, Dignitas, I'm kind of thinking about what they have to do. Space Station really felt like they were trying to consistently apply some of that physical pressure, still not connecting as often as they would like, and if that physical style of play for Space Station starts getting to the level that they like it to be, Dignitas could be in for a lot more than they bargained here going forward.
And I think for Dignitas, it's like, okay, what does Dignitas have to do? Well, you just got to kick it up another gear. It's not really like they're getting outplayed here, but no. I do feel like they're not at that final gear, and they don't have to.
If this is final level Dignitas, then this is a sham.
Yeah. And just getting some more information for you guys. Again, it will be a 1-0 lead here for Space Station. We're going to be starting from kickoff 4:19 on the clock, so just barely into this one in the first minute or so as we get back into it. Game number 3, Space Station up by 1.
We shall see if they can hold on to their 1-goal lead or if Dignitas will find a way back, knock Space Station off in 3 games. To start off Group D heading into tomorrow. So far, got a lot of that pressure right back here on this kickoff, and way to go get that one. Arsenal really trying to take control out of Dignitas' hands. The miss as well. Daniel just wanted to keep the ball close and having to avoid some physical pressure being put on by Dignitas themselves.
Here's George with some space, and that flick not able to get over the first man. Space Station looking to return to close to that form that they had earlier on here in Game 3 before the pause, and Arsenal will go through with the flip reset. Space Station double their lead.
Way to get it done. Reynolds able to outmuscle apparently Jack. Stall one out in front of the box, and Arsenal put in a flip reset. Little weak one too, kind of threw Scrub Killer off the pace of the shot.
Yeah. Went
right into the top corner to beat the last defender, and Space Station now a comfy 2-goal lead. In general, apart from Game 1 with the hiccups, I mean, goal-scoring opportunities, despite a lot of targets being shots put on target, goal-scoring chances in terms of quality opportunities have been few and far between. So Space Station definitely starting to ramp up here.
You were talking about, you know, does Arsenal even know what he's doing? And I think a lot of times he does. He's very confident under that ball, getting that flip reset. And it has paid off for Space Station. He just got another one there, and we might have a series on our hands here as Space Station come back into this, Daniel, with another miss.
Wow.
And Joris gets another gift.
We will take that one. You can't complain if you're Dignitas. Don't care how it goes in as long as it does. Daniel, not a hard play to make. Really just, I don't think he even realized he had way more time there to even go and get that one. Just jumped at it.
And looking at the face cams there, Arsenal reaching over to Daniel and kind of just giving him a fist bump or slapping hands or whatever it was. Saying, okay, all right, it's all good. Still in the lead, but maybe not for long as Dignitas still threatening here. Space Station happy to have the cushion as it's been needed. Another dangerous one comes across. Daniel there to make the save.
The pressure getting started from Dignitas, and definitely not what Space Station wanted to be happening, considering how well they were really starting to gel on the offensive side of the pitch. Glorious threw a couple. The only one there for it is Arsenal. Nice fake on his approach and really timing this one. And wants the Cooksteer pinch, but all the way across. Glorious waiting there.
No power, though. No power for Arsenal. 2 minutes and 20 on the clock. Dignitas got to kick it into another gear here. You're not going to get that many gifts. Or maybe not another one, at least, from Space Station. That's a great touch, but apparently Jack doesn't have boost to chase after it.
Arsenal doing his best to keep it close, but he ends up giving it back. I actually like that idea from Arsenal.
Sure.
Try and stick the ball to you, but it kind of just bounces off a little too hard, and he can't get back to it. And Jack,
that is absurd.
He's going to slice that one across the net. What a shot.
Absurd from Jack. Just outside of the post to reach around to the backside. My goodness. Dignitas finding the angle, able to tie it up, and maybe another one coming as Jack won't be able to get to it again, and another misplay from Space Station. Dignitas in the lead.
Arsenal, it's not that bad, but certainly not an enviable spot. Really just overdid his approach on that one. Ended up getting too high on it, and definitely could have been cleared a little better, but certainly a little uncertain with how that ball was going to bounce, being so close to that top corner.
Dignitas in the lead. Space Station, they were up 2-0 at one point in game 3. Now the sweep threatened, and Space Station time is not on their side.
Pass to Reynolds. He's across and decides to leave it for Arsenal if he connected with the demo. There's Daniel. He's going to muscle it through. Space Station sends the house, really ties Dignitas up on the goal line and to tie it up.
That one was a wonky one to watch, and this is a great camera angle to see it. Everyone kind of just throwing misdirection from Space Station, and Daniel finally just barrels through for Space Station to come out on top. We're all tied up with 1:41 left to play here in game 3.
The world is open for Space Station. Arsenal gonna drive it into the top of the net.
You gotta watch out for the flip reset from Arsenal, and he's done it a few times. 2 now in this game. 1 over the top of Scrub, and 4-3. Space Station back on top.
Climbing the mountain slowly but surely. Game 3, a late lead. Long way to go though. 1.5 minutes can last an eternity when you gotta hold off a team like Dignitas, as Jory is putting the pressure on Daniel. Down in front of the net one more time and clipped out to the middle of the pitch.
Good control from Jack here. Is unfortunately giving up to Daniel. Arsenal was going to go for it as he faked it. Scrub Killa gets a weak one outside of the box here. Jorius wants to bring it down. Reynolds not going to give it to him. Trying to disrupt the pace of play is Space Station. Another big clear comes out from Daniel. Reynolds chasing Jorius into the corner, and Jorius does well to hold on to this one.
Nice job, but all those demos on the back line kind of limit Dignitas' ability to provide support here in the midfield. Daniel almost working his way through everybody. Needs a little help from Reynolds, and Space Station figuring out how they would like to approach Dignitas, and currently definitely getting the better of them in terms of the challenge game of the midfield line. That's a nice push off that Dignitas rooftop. Just reset all of that pressure that Space Station were building.
Oh my.
And a lot of demos coming down. Going to turn this one into a scrapyard.
Jack's up. Oh, he doesn't get the touch, and no one was there from Space Station. It was dangerous. Scrub Killa approaching this one properly. Arsenal trying to give it over to Reynolds. He's not going to be able to cut across. Coming up on 10 seconds left. Space Station looking to extend the series.
Scrub for himself, needs a little help. It's far in front of Jorius, perhaps too far. Good roll for Dignitas, and that's a big miss from apparently Jack, and Space Station gonna make sure that one finds the dirt. We will go to at least game 4. Space Station gonna fight off the Dignitas comeback in game 3.
It's not pretty. It's not pretty from Space Station, but it's working. Some goals given up here that were very weak over to Dignitas. And Dignitas has, I think, scored on every single mistake that's come out from Space Station. They will punish, and they have throughout this series.
And at this point, I don't think you can really afford to throw any more of those out there.
Yeah.
I mean, Space Station only gets, or Dignitas only gets 3 goals there because of a couple of miscues. You know, Daniel with just a clean whiff on the ball, and then Arsenal not really able to read a touch particularly well, and they popped off because they had to work real hard to make sure that one stayed in their hands. 4 goals after you gave up 2 for free was not an easy task.
Again, you know, I feel like a guy like Arsenal, you can see there just a moment ago on the replay of the face cams, just screaming. And that type of energy, you know, can really push a team to a different level. And that's, I think, where Arsenal is right now. He's played great. Post-game 1, I should say, since game 2, Space Station has been a different team. And I think Arsenal's been leading the way.
Well, welcome to Utopia Dusk. We will see if the push from Space Station continues. And another trek towards the reverse sweep. Reynolds uncontested out of his own half to start off game 4. Space Station trying to figure out how they want to position, and even Dignitas maybe caught a little off guard by all the misses there. Both teams trying to figure out if there's a weak spot and how to approach the ball from a position of strength. As Jorius wisely biding his time there in that corner, knowing that an opportunity to keep it in this blue half would present itself if you just let him bring him the ball.
Oh, Jorius not getting that boost. Let Reynolds come through. And that's a tough angle there from Arsenal, or a sharp one, I should say, but Dignitas does well to see this one out. Reynolds trying to slow down the attack. What a pinch from apparently Jack, as Jorius can't put it away off the crossbar, and this one bounces out.
That was a gorgeous pass into the middle. Couldn't ask for anything better. Unfortunately, punted upwards off the bar. Dignitas gonna be frustrated that that one didn't find Pater. A little bit of space here to work with for Space Station. They've got a good grip on the midfield line at the moment. Playing a little keep away from Dignitas. Unfortunately, the midfield defender didn't feel comfortable putting the pressure on Jack, and a little fake met by Daniel nicely, and Jorius just trying to keep control here for Dignitas.
Dangerous when you see Jack come from the ceiling there. Space Station lucky he couldn't put one on target, but here he comes again, trying to go all the way back across. Still scoreless. Space here for Reynolds. Pass one. Arsenal's downfield. He needs to get a touch. He does! He sneaks it through the near post, and Space Station in the lead.
Actually, a very tough thing to read is Arsenal continuing to bring the energy for Space Station. Jorius having to race back so far. And Arsenal, great job of recognizing he had a few extra seconds there to let that ball really come into a prime shooting position and stuff it.
He's feeling himself. He's like, yeah, that was me.
There's
I
two.
put that one away. There's Daniel. How about it? As you can see Reynolds talking to the other side.
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
Chirping away as they take the lead. It wasn't pretty in the first 2 games, but here comes Space Station attacking Dignitas.
Tough kickoff to handle, and now you find yourself in a comfortable lead. A long way to go here in game 4. Dignitas going to be frustrated, and nothing more important than possession at this point.
Look at them. They're standing up at Space Station, letting Dignitas know. Arsenal, another one to the corner. Look at the placement. It's pixel perfect. You don't get any better than that in the top right corner, ladies and gentlemen.
Couldn't put a thimble between the ball and the side of the net there. That was money for Arsenal, and now, I mean, now you don't even have to push too hard. You could literally just sit back, and it'd be tough for Dignitas to really crack Space Station. So what do you do if you're Dignitas at this point? Out of hand, incredibly early.
Yeah.
You haven't even hit halftime yet. Space Station went boom, boom, boom. And you haven't even really been out of your own half for too long.
I mean, Arsenal is that
type of guy can really bring the pressure, that presence, and so they thrive on that live environment that we were talking about when this series got started. It just takes a little gas in the tank. Space Station charge their own batteries after that. We shall see if Dignitas can find a way back through the mess that's been created here in game 4 to try and make this one a game.
Yeah, you talk about, you know, what Dignitas needs to do. And right now, I'm looking at Arsenal. He's really been a catalyst.
Yep.
And there's nothing you can do about the energy he brings, but what he's been doing on the field is a different story. He's not going to make the save there. Scrub, one back for Dignitas.
Certainly a 1v1er's approach here for Scrub, noticing with Arsenal and what could you do? Scrub well aware that the only way for Arsenal to try and make a save was the hard dive across the net. It was no problem for Scrub to follow that one and just place it behind him after he jumped. So well done here for Dignitas. They put this game into a more manageable position. 2 goals with 2 minutes just about on the clock, and see if they can get some possession going. As Dignitas wasting valuable time trying to figure out how to break out of their own half. Apparently Jack got a lot of boost as well. This could be problematic in terms of being economical with their time. Spacestation kind of just sitting here saying, yeah, you don't have any type of clears. We're just going to wait for you to bring us the ball.
We'll see if Dignitas can make the changes here. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Spacestation have taken over this series, and it's been Arsenal at the forefront of it. Here he is in the back of the net. He's got to make the save. A good fake from Joris, but it's not on target. Still in front of the net.
Whoa.
Finally, apparently, Jack comes through, and Dignitas within 1.
Spacestation got to kind of try and figure that one out. Obviously, you know, Arsenal had to deal with the fake, but Reddle's there. He was going in full bore at that one to try and pop it off the bar, and that's a tough miss to swallow. Now you put Dignitas in a position where at any time they could find themselves in a tie game and on the verge of suffering a defeat in their first series of the Winter Major. Out of nowhere, Dignitas back in it.
Less than a minute to go. Crucial game here for Dignitas. Feels like Spacestation's a team that will start to sprint downhill once they get that momentum. Here's Reynolds on a good tackle, looking for the back wall. Can't get the dunk. That one bounces in front of the net. No one there from Spacestation. They waited for the clear, as Arsenal's not going to get over, apparently, Jack. He gets another touch. Daniel Hunting not going to find it, as Spacestation relentless here on the Dignitas side.
Dodging the demo, apparently Jack almost able to break down a couple of defenders. Reynolds towards the backboard. You got to get this one. Scrub killer, and that's just enough to poke it away to safety. Looking for help from Jorius. Definitely over his head. Couldn't quite handle it as Reynolds down in the middle. Here's Daniel to put it away. They're through back the other way, but they don't have a lot of boost for this transition. This is going to be tough for Dignitas to try and convert with a couple of bumps, and apparently Jack was storming in, feeling like he needed to get right on it. As Spacestation, now they're halfway up the mountain. You're almost there, but you got another 5 minutes to get through, and got out in front early here, but Dignitas roaring back as best they could.
What a series we've got on our hands here. Spacestation coming back into it. I mean, we were pretty critical of them in the first 2 games. I mean,
oh yeah, game 1 was bad.
Game 1 was bad, and I think that's fair criticism. But let's go back the other way now. These games have been phenomenal from Spacestation in the latter half of this series. Game 4, now going into Game 5. You can see the hype, you can see the passion. That was what I was worried about if you're on the other side of Spacestation. When they start feeling themselves like the way they are right now, and especially Arsenal, boy, oh boy, they are a scary team to play against.
Do have to be concerned, though, if your Spacestation, still some of those leaks in the defense coming through towards the end of that Game 4, and now you're here at the end of the rope. Got no leeway any other direction, and anything you give to the opposition could be incredibly problematic. So we'll see who comes out here in the final 5 minutes. Champions field being loaded up. I don't know. Thinking about who needs to pop off, I think you were right about saying Arsenal. Dude's been letting Dignitas have it in the past 2 games.
Yeah, who needs to pop off? He's been popping off for Spacestation here, and here he is again trying to make it work. He's gonna go through! He just walked into Dignitas' end, and he puts it away!
The game is so easy when you're that good. Easy bump, just get back behind the ball, and Scrub's so worried about perhaps a double jump or something high into the net, and Dignitas definitely frustrated with allowing that opening goal.
I mean, you can see it in the face cams there. Players are not happy with the way that one turned out here in the first 9 seconds of the game. And I think Spacestation's starting to get to Dignitas. Reynolds, flip reset, another touch towards the net. As Dignitas starting to feel more and more pressure here on their side. It has not been the same offense. Maybe a shot here. Save
Oh
off the crossbar.
gosh.
Arsenal with no boost called upon. Here comes Daniel back the other way, and Dignitas has to make the save.
Monster save from Space Station and a bullet towards the net. Scrub in time. Arsenal trying to put the pressure on him in front of the net. As Daniel actually going to peel off for a second, make sure Space Station can run back, grab some boost, and get set at the midfield. Apparently Jack in charge of buying time for Dignitas. Chipped away by Arsenal. Out to Jorius, little wave dash on the wall. He's got no boost, so really trying to stretch this one as far as it could possibly go. And good demo from Space Station to try and regain possession.
The scrap here in the corner, and somehow Jorius comes out with it. Scrub has a free shot. Nobody from Space Station there to challenge, and Dignitas find the equalizer.
The defense has to be staring at Jorius going back towards the ball there, and probably saw Scrub way too late, considering from the defender's angle, Scrub's name tag probably hidden behind the ball for all he knew.
Yeah.
It just popped straight over his head. 1-1. Dignitas back in it.
And that's a crucial mistake from Space Station. You just can't leave Dignitas behind the ball that long. They're going to pull out something like that. A great shot from Scrub Killer. And Space Station have paid again.
Oh, can he get it?
Flip reset.
Almost. A little too far above the net to try and lever that one in. Daniel off the wall for Reddles. As both teams, the gravity of Game 5 setting in, do start to see some nice, safe, long clears. Make sure you don't ever put yourself in a bad spot.
He might get the bump. He got the bump. He got the bump.
Get him out of here. Reynolds says thank you. That's an easy one for me now.
The pop off again from Space Station, and Reynolds, the second he hit this ball, you could see Arsenal going for the bump, and he's done that a couple times now. This time connecting on a shot on target. Space Station in the lead with 3 minutes to play.
Dignitas gonna have to dig and find another one in the bag of tricks. Try and shake Space Station off the trail. It's unfortunate timing on the miss from Jorius, but may work out considering it was kickoff. He may not have had the support there in the first place. Straight on target. Good reactions from apparently Jack to get back and stop that one, trying to go over the top of the Dignitas defense.
Space Station, they've had so much to prove. And right now they're doing it. A reverse sweep inbound if they can hold on. But Dignitas, they're not going to go quietly.
Arsenal through a couple. Almost able to tuck it into the top right corner. Daniel's definitely going to need some help here, and Jorius positioned nicely to try and take this one away towards the net. That's saved away by Reynolds. Needs some help from Arsenal there through the entire defense. Jorius is streaking back. Where do you go? Across the net, and Jorius all over it. Great understanding there on defense. Not worried about the pass off the wall.
Pass just a little bit too sharp, and now a good clear again. Dignitas sending numbers when they're not connecting on the touches. Here they come again, and Dignitas need to convert this one. A great pass out, poked away by Arsenal again. He's everywhere for Space Station. And he's trying to push this one across the corner, but Dignitas with a couple flick on is able to get out.
And now you enter, just boom the ball away, and there's Arsenal putting the pressure, giving the opportunity to Reynolds. It's not the strongest clear, but Daniel is deep back. And that's the right play, to be honest, if you're Space Station. You know, you can afford a little space. That was a scary one. Reynolds, great job to get out in front of that. Space Station would have hated to concede that late.
And Dignitas, they really have to find some form here. Another demo as Jorius getting go all the way. Jorius to the back wall as Daniel will meet him. Apparently Jack will take one from midfield. Arsenal to clear it away. Another demo comes out. Reynolds on Scrub Killer this time. Only two here for Dignitas as they're still threatening. Here comes Scrub, and he can't get through. Reynolds to make the save. Dignitas still knocking on the door. Jorius is over the net. A second touch off the post. Space Station somehow get out, and 43 seconds is on the clock.
The defense broke down, but so did the offense. Not able to connect. Tough ball to handle for Arsenal. Here comes Dignitas, the bump from Reynolds to get him out of the way. And Dignitas trying everything they can here in the final minute just to try and break through in Space Station. The defense is in tatters, but they still just refuse to be ripped away.
Reverse sweep setup would be the 5th on an RLCS LAN ever. 17 seconds away. They're running into each other on the Space Station side. A flick from Reynolds. At Space Station, they're trying to do the impossible against Dignitas.
Apparently Jack to himself, cut down by Arsenal across the middle of the pitch. Scrub got to do it without touching the floor. It's going to take a hard pinch. Apparently Jack is muscled out. Space Station going to reach the top of the mountain. And they're going to knock off Dignitas in a reverse sweep.
Look at the passion coming out from Reynolds. He threw his headset down. A statement here from Space Station. It was shaky in the start, but they came out on top. Dignitas are stunned.